During ruin his career.
Ruined his kids. Okay.
The Cowboys? Yeah, I'm done.
Oh, the king has arrived. We're just about to start. All right. We'll call to order the Wasatch County Fire District Board meeting. It is 4:56, something like that. And present are Board Member Park, Board Member Peterson, Chair Farrell has just joined us, Board Member McPhee, and myself. Excused are, what's his name? Crittenden and Nelson. Thank you. And see, when you're ready, you can just take over, but we'll begin with minutes from October 4th and 10th.
I'll make a motion that we approve the minutes from the 4th and the 10th board meeting.
I'll second it.
Okay, we have a motion from Board Member Park, a second from the Chair Farrell. Any questions on the motion? Discussion on the motion? All in favor?
Aye.
Passes. You ready, Steve?
Go ahead.
Okay. All right, you have warrants, and then we also have an additional sheet that we just got passed out on $23,698.65 in addition.
So do you have the total? Total including additions?
Yeah, $144,751. $144,751 is the total.
No cents?
No cents.
Motion to approve.
Oh, shoot, wait a minute. I'm sorry, I read the wrong part. Excuse me.
Come on, man.
Sorry about that, Ernie.
Yeah, I'm thinking later.
The total was $175,897.07.
Motion to approve the warrants.
We have a motion to approve from Chairman
Second.
Farrell, second from Board Member McPhee. Any questions on the motion? All in favor?
Aye.
That's passed. RFP, Ernie?
The advisory board met a couple of weeks ago. We've made some changes to the RFP, some small ones. It's been sent out a week ago tomorrow is when it went out. And so it's moving along. I haven't had any reply yet, but it's only been out a few days.
The deadline is when?
So the 8th of December.
8th of December.
And while we're talking about the advisory board, we met, I know last meeting, I had my budget prepared for the advisory board meeting prior, and this time they voted unanimously to support the 920. Any questions on that RFP?
What did we do that last time?
Well, the advisory board never, they just had made a recommendation of $750, but I hadn't had my budget prepared by then.
Okay, then we came up with 920 and that's
Okay.
Yeah, so the motion that we made, that I made in that we just passed in the minutes was 920, which reflected what, not to exceed 920, correct? But so the RFP, you'll just keep us next meeting. Are you and the advisory board going to go over those and come with a recommendation to this board?
I think we meet on the 11th, and meeting on the 12th with fire.
So
So hopefully by then we'll bring some recommendation, or at least 3 names and then pick one.
What's the procedure? Are we just going to review them on paper, or are we going to call in anybody for like an interview process?
Yeah, we talked about that, and kind of the consensus was, like a lot of these firms are from out of state, and then just, wind up doing a
PowerPoint, dog and pony.
Conference call?
my guess is with the folks you've got on your advisory and then your folks' expertise, we're going to be able to know that most of these guys this is their specialty. They're going to be qualified. It's just a matter of who that group thinks is going to be the best for our field.
I think Yeah, the advisory board's been awesome. It's been,
Sounds good. Anything else on RFP? Ernie, you ready to move on to the budget?
as you can see, you had in your packet, I'm gonna put it online that everybody's okay with it. I haven't heard any different, on a final draft. It's, there hasn't been any changes since the 9/20, so we're probably gonna put it out for the public, and you can get it on our website. Everybody's good with it.
I think that's good. What, we got 3 weeks and then we'll be, I guess it's a month.
Yeah, I think we're up.
Not quite a month.
What-
Well, we're gonna have our budget hearing on the same night as everything.
I didn't have any question about the overall amount. I was wondering if we could find a way to put more into, are we calling it capital improvements? Is that what we're putting, how we're funding our trucks?
Apparatus, but yeah, it goes into the capital improvements.
Okay.
Account.
Because we're doing that 300,000 a year.
We was.
Is that what we're going to continue this year?
Well, it was set at $500,000 and then pulled the needs assessment out of that. So once the needs assessment's done for 18, that 65,000 will go into, so it'll be right around $500,000, 300.
But for this year, it probably won't be the $500,000 because we're pulling that needs assessment money out of there.
It's, I'll tell you. $438,100, and then the needs assessment 65. Because we actually rounded it, if you remember, outside of 916 and 9. And that board took it to 920. And so I put the rest of that amount in.
That was, it's taken us over 3 years to buy a new truck, but it's a needs assessment we need. But I'd like to put $500,000 a year because we could buy a truck every 2 years.
We buy a pumper about every year, and that's what we really do.
Is that our biggest need?
Now that
When our truck's been postponed.
ladder.
Yeah. Oh, when's the ladder coming? I forgot.
It's been postponed. It was supposed to be inspected yesterday on the 13th, but now they put it off till the 28th. So, I don't know. Still.
But it's close.
Yeah. Oh, it's picture-wise, literally about all they had to do was put the doors on and set the ladder on.
You should have it for sure by the end of the year.
I'm hoping it's going to be here by the 12th.
But you're gonna go get it.
Parked right out front there.
You're gonna go get it though, right?
I was, but I don't know schedule-wise now how that's, we was planning on going the weekend.
Road trip. Because we got so much free time.
Road trip?
So, but I'll keep you posted, but that's the 28th is the,
I gotta see you now.
Now, them new trucks, you're not supposed to drive them over 35 miles an hour.
they've already done that back there. So if I take possession of it, they said I can hold the hammer down.
They do some testing.
Oh, yeah, they put it on dyno. Speaking
You know,
of
just to be safe, I wouldn't drive over 35.
So they really, should the highway patrol really pull over a fire truck? I think this is your one test, your one chance to do whatever you want. Nobody's gonna tell you.
There's a governor of 65 on it, so.
Oh, is it really? Well, there's probably fire snow when you pick it up. Okay. Anything else for the 2018 budget discussion? If not, we'll move on to the third.
We already set the hearing, right?
It's been mailed and set.
Third quarter financials?
All of you should have received a copy of those. It's just a, I mean, most of the line items, if you actually look at those, was under the 75%. I mean, some of the ones that wasn't, if they're a one-time pay, you actually look at them like our liability insurance, that type of thing, gets paid out at 100. So it looks like we're keeping in past there. I mean, maintenance and equipment supply, we may be over a little bit. If you actually look at that warrant, that was a $23,000 repair on that JE2. And the JE1 is actually down right now, and just on the cell for that load truck is pretty near $9,000. We gotta get it installed, so some of this equipment that's old is getting costly too, so. But, yeah, just the third quarter looked good. I just put them in your packet so you have an idea where we're at with it.
Any questions for Ernie on third quarter financials?
2017 Pierce, that ladder truck.
Pardon?
2017 Pierce, 353,000. That's right.
Did it.
Anything else? Not ready for the chief's report?
I really don't have anything to report other than this. There's questions.
Did we get the lawsuit settled, paid out?
It's not paid out yet, but it is.
We have signatures from
I'm trying
everyone.
to get my money from Wells Fargo, and that's tough. Because they've had such a turnover over there, I don't know what's happened. There's nobody on that part sitting on it, so maybe somebody outside now.
Which lawsuit is this?
It would be the O&M, the original one on the ERU. The assessment is still going on about 5 years ago.
Is that one
The
good?
original one.
Right.
It's 7.
So the O&M is from 5 years ago, or is that longer?
No.
That's been-
No, the assessment area is the one that's been,
5 years ago.
Which one is the O&M? How long?
The old.
Oh, I think they was
It's going
filed
way
in about
back.
10,
Okay.
7.
modified in 11. Yeah, it's been 7 to 9 years.
so what's happening with the assessment area one then?
It's actually been presented to the court percentage-wise, or at least the way the attorneys are looking at it. There's such a small percentage of the people that have a dog in the fight, so to speak, that, I mean, it's less than 1% of what the value of the Jordan Basin is. So they're trying to get it dismissed under that pretense.
Who's they? The other side or us?
No, our attorneys.
Yeah.
So, but it's went through, I think we're on our fourth or fifth judge on this. So it's been tough to try to keep them educated. I mean, it's a new process every time you meet with them. Hopefully by the end of the year, they tell me we should be close to it. That'd be awesome if we could, for sure.
Any other questions for Chief? I have a question. How much did we save on that, on the ladder truck by paying early?
I want to say about 50, but
About 50,000?
I mean, it could have been 50 and some change, could have been 53.
Seemed like
but
it
it's
was
ready.
9 something and we got it for 850 something because of the,
So something might make that, whatever that was on the quarter. Yeah, it was about $50,000, I want to say, for paying up front. But then we don't have any interest as it's being billed either. Like a lot of them, they'll charge you interest while they're building. Once you order, Pierce will charge you interest.
Yeah, they start charging you right away until they deliver,
Mhm.
or until you take delivery.
Yeah.
Okay, this is for, you know, Open Kendall will be here, but he's recovering from surgery. Do you guys remember, Steve and Greg, and I know you voted on either side of the issue, but the 2013 fire tax increase, was it presented to the public from your memory that it was the entire amount of the increase was to go towards new trucks, new equipment? Or was there going to be a portion of it, like 300,000 was going to go for
I
trucks?
think we identified 300,000 going for capital equipment.
After that's replacement, I think it's a line item that was added in for.
That's how you remember
the
it?
reason I voted for it is because it didn't matter, it still wasn't enough. That's what I remember.
Right.
Regardless of what it wasn't enough to do the trucks and everything we needed to do to fund the department correctly. So we felt like whatever we could get would go that portion towards the trucks and the rest to fund. Like when Mr. Peterson came on, the training budget was bare what we had, minimum we had to do to keep going. It was just,
I was just trying to remember because there was some conversation about,
as we now know, that
right. There was some conversation, some people understood that the entire amount had been presented by the board and the chief, that the entire amount of the 2013 increase would go only for vehicles. And I didn't remember it that way, but I didn't attend all the meetings because I sat out in those seats back then.
If you actually look up on our web and pull up the 14, that's when it would have happened. The budget for 2014, 300,000 was set aside for apparatus replacement. And actually in the budget hearing in 2013, the minutes reflect the same thing. I don't know, I haven't read them today, but that's.
Well, how much was the increase? I thought the increase was
600,000.
yeah, it was 600.
But I do remember that part of your presentation was about the stations and the facilities, and that was a problem too. So it wasn't just about equipment, it was about upgrading the Midway station, or building the Midway station, upgrading this one, Timberlakes, Wallsburg.
The funding for those will come out of the county.
Yeah, that comes from
The county budget covers the construction of.
Now, the apparatus within those is what you're talking
But
about.
the county.
Tracy's right on the presentation.
You showed the facilities too.
Building and the upgrades that needed to be done.
To the buildings after they were constructed.
And also with the apparatus.
Yeah.
They was both on each page, each station was singled out.
Even a compressor, every little thing that goes in there after the shell comes out of the district, correct? And there's a lot that goes in those after that.
Right, just for clarification, the building structure itself is paid for by the county
Impact.
through the fire impact. And that
Okay.
comes out of the county budget, so it would be a mic discussion, so to speak. But anything that goes in it, it comes out of Ernie's budget or the SSD's budget.
Okay.
So like Greg's saying, anything that we have to go in and put into the building afterwards.
Well, I think to have, that's editorial, but to have the Midway station ready to roll, there's a lot of funds that have to be put into that. Just because we have the shell and a place to park the equipment doesn't mean we're ready to roll with all the stuff that's got to be.
150, I mean, time you do beddings and limbs.
I mean, just even your air compressors and your all the stuff that's got to be there for your guys when they got to go.
Yeah, there's a lot of work to do. We're in the process of that too. Claire's been a big help with that. We sent out for bids for the cabinets and have actually chosen them. I think they're probably slated to be 30, 45 days out.
I talked to him 2 days ago. He said he was out of town, he'd be back in town, so he'd be done on.
That's just to keep all your stuff in there.
You know, the kitchen.
The kitchen.
Oh.
So we play.
So even
Brian Aiken.
even a stove or a microwave or something's got it.
Yeah.
On the truck, we're talking, the number is just for the truck, that 800 and change.
Yeah,
So that's
that
just for the
doesn't
truck
count.
itself, but then there's another 100 to 200 that's got to go on the truck. There you go.
Probably about 100 to 195 to 135. Some of this stuff we not order until the truck gets here, so we make sure they fit the cabinets. But the ladders will come on the truck. Some of the poles won't. I mean, most all the equipment we have to put on. Like air packs, I mean, if it was at that 101, I mean, they're $10,000, 8 to 10,000. I mean, have 6 of those, so I mean, you're $50,000, $60,000 just in breathing apparatus.
But it doesn't come outfitted with all the equipment you need to fight a fire. You're just getting a bare bones truck for your last.
Just
You don't gotta buy the hose.
Correct.
Oh, it doesn't even come with the hose?
Which is like 10.
It's just a better truck.
Kind of like the building. It's the shell. You got to get her ready to go.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else with the chief? You got anything else, Randy? All right, fire warden.
Greg cursed this last meeting, so it was out of fire season. We had to-
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, so, I can agree with you, I'm so sorry. Funny how things come back and bite you.
Yeah, that was quite a smut you had going out there along 40, huh?
Yeah, so I'll just give you a quick update on that. So call came in a little bit after 2 o'clock Sunday afternoon, multiple fires along Highway 40. By the time first arriving apparatus was on scene, we were probably 100 acres plus on 2 of the bigger fires. Fruitland was dispatched from their side, and they were able to catch one in the Deep Creek area, fairly small. It was a quarter acre. So the one that we called the Soldier Creek Fire, which was close to the private ground in Wasatch County, we had 47.1 acres burned on forest and 75.5 acres burned on private. We did have some structures threatened, but there was no structures lost. Then the Trout Fire, which was completely all on forest, more by the Trout Creek Canyon there. It burned 302.9 acres all on forest. Haven't seen an official report yet, but there was some evidence collected that kind of shows it was a mechanical issue. So we do have to investigate from that one. It was a joint effort between Wasatch County Fire District, county. The problem with having a fire that late in the year, everybody's pretty much done for the season, so it's hard to get federal resources or aviation at the time when we needed them. But, you know, with what we had, we were able to keep it out of the structures, and I feel we did a pretty good job.
Like the drones, to just kind of see, flat and open, so we have to go under.
We have one with the state. We haven't actively used it on fire. We use it on a lot of project work, take a lot of before and after pictures to show fuel breaks and stuff. I've been talking with Jeremy, and I think he is putting in for a drone that we could possibly use, and have some infrared technology on some of these fires. When you get on fires with drones, there's so many different rules and regulations. Like if there's even an aircraft assigned to the fire, can't fly a drone. And it's, you know, feds have different rules in the state.
I calculate the burn area, they said 41.4 acres.
Walking. On the Trout Creek Fire, they did have some aviation, so they were able to do the track through the helicopter. But on the solar one, that was through private land, it was all walk fire permit.
Will we be totally reimbursed through the state fire fund?
Yep. So I spoke with the county today. They put their bill, submitted it today, and Wasatch County bill is just waiting for something on the state end, and then that'll be the fire districts, and just waiting for the state to do one thing, and then we can see be reimbursed for the both considered federal.
We have any hot shot crews in Utah?
Yeah, well, we have more than that. So the Forest Service has Logan Hot Shots. And then the state of Utah has 2 hot shot crews, Lone Peak and Alta. And then they have a Type 2 IE crew, which is Twin Peaks. And then they also have a dromedary crew that does fuel work, project work, which is considered just a Type 2 crew. But their main function is project work, but then they get to go on projects. Yeah, hot shot crews, they have to follow different types of rules and.
Okay. Track how much back burning?
What's that?
On fire, what did you come across? You practice much back burning, you go back burn all your fires?
Sometimes, you know, it's just fire behavior specific. I mean, there's certain things we have to look at, you know. There's a difference between a back burn and a burn out operation. So sometimes we'll clean up the fire line. Other times, when we have been on fires where it's coming toward the structure and we're turning it on fire to burn it away from it. So, I mean, it's all qualification based. You gotta do tasks and stuff, and I'm working on that now. Yeah. Thank you.
Thanks, Troy. All right.
You don't get to hear from them.
I guess not.
We took him right off
We
YouTube.
can cover him on the other, we'll go to other. Clint, do you have anything you want to?
Is there anybody that wants to hear from Clint?
Well,
There you go.
From one person.
Now you've just done.
wait a minute.
Sure,
Sorry. I still want to get a report on his hair
No.
because it looks still magnificent.
I think we, once again, let's not get him going.
Clint, do you have anything you'd like to?
Nothing to report unless there's any questions or concerns.
He's he's a nearing, so he's not even housebroken.
Thanks for what you do.
disagree.
Man, you are on fire tonight.
Spencer, we're gonna have to be careful. Spencer, he's
I try to see how many people I can offend in one sitting.
Tuesday's on his day.
Yeah, you haven't even been here for the best part.
Yeah. You got anything else that I did not?
All since we started.
I had a question now. This, we got to talk to Mike about this too, Mike Davis, but is anyone interested in talking with Heber City about what they were considering the Maverick property? Remember that Heber City purchased that property to keep it out of the RPZ or to keep any development out of it. But would that be a spot that we could put a potential station, a fire station, and then maybe we could get an aircraft truck, apparatus, a former truck? Park? What do you think about that
They said it was paid by federal funds, and I haven't heard back at the fire station.
Okay.
Cedar City bought
Is
it.
that the Gil Olson property?
But a lot of that's going to depend on the needs assessment. They're going to go back and go where all the stations are placed now.
Call volume. It's going to be, I think it's going to be well needed, this needs assessment.
Oh, yeah. I didn't know if that was a property, because I know that,
It's always worth visiting with them about especially if the needs assessment, might be worth checking that out first and then having a conversation.
wait on that. Okay, sounds good to me.
It's not a question about this station being right in the center of town, if that's the best location.
But what that would do is, we can serve the airport, as everybody knows, when there's something out here for the commercial, I mean, there's more flights out here than there's out of Cedar City.
But it may be wise to wait on it in case somebody decides to move that airport.
To the North Hills?
North Village. No, you haven't heard about the North Village?
Oh, I haven't. No, wasn't the guy that talked to
Yeah,
us?
that was a different guy.
Oh, okay.
Different plan. There's another plan to move it out to the North Village.
Okay. Oh, I didn't,
You haven't heard about that?
I was just being a smart aleck because I knew about that.
Oh, no, they wouldn't move it. Okay. Anything else? You have a need for a closed session? All right.
Please do adjourn.
Wait a minute. Please make a note. Please make a note in the minutes that we had no need for a closed session. And then, did we do, I can't remember if we resolved this, did we all do the Open Public Meetings Act training? And did we record that? Do you have what you need?
I have Greg. He's the only person that has sent me his copy.
So the state auditor with the Central Utah